West Virginia Outsider, and today is Tuesday. Sorry I couldn't do it yesterday. I had stuff come up. Uh, couldn't do it, so I'm here today, this morning, this afternoon to do it now. The scratch build of a Gen 7 Pro chassis. It's just like I said, it's scratch. I sanded the black off, and I really didn't like the black. I want something different. I want my own style. So I redid the frame. Looks pretty, huh? And I am live streaming too. So come join me. I could interact with you, and you can interact with me. And I'll make sure to get this thing started. So let's get ahead. Let's see. I went ahead. There's the uh, transmission mount for the motor's transmission. And I went ahead and painted it too. Get my own little thing. I already mounted it up. I am running the 2000 kV motor, and it is the Traxxas spur gear. I don't know if y'all see. It's a 50 tooth. Like I said in the earlier videos, you had drill out for these little pins, and that's the only thing you had to do, and it pops right on. Uh, Let me twist it around a little bit. On a frame, there's two different. You get the front and the rear. You have to make sure you get the front. The front has five little holes in it. Four clear in the front and one right here. This is the front. The rear only has four. So I'm gonna have to uh I'm gonna have the rear facing towards me. Start with that. And first thing you want to do on a transmission, you got these little dye pins or whatever. They will fit into one of three of these holes. You just have to uh, put it there, see which one it goes in. That's center. So mine would be in that very first hole towards the center. So we start with that and get a couple screws in it. Let's see, where did I have them at? Right here. And it's the little square looking bit. And it's 2.0. I am, and the ESC is a 60 amp dynamite. That camera on my phone is not very good right now. Glare. And the receiver will fit right here on this side. But you got to add this before you put any screws into it. Because you don't, you'll be tearing it back apart. Let's see. The front. Face it that way. Well, I forget, you need to put the other side of the frame on. It's a little bit contrary since you ain't got no bolts in it yet. They're popped in. It goes in that first hole towards the center, and I call it the cage. And where I have mine, I just got it double sided tape, and it ain't coming off. Let me show you what tape I'm using. Come on. It's the tape for like the car vent shades, and it's sticky on both sides. So that's what I'm using. All right. Might just the legs, spread these apart a little bit to get them over. It goes over the frame. Get the holes lined up. They're pretty good lined up. There's a little bit long, I think. That's for that. I might have to find a couple more in my hardware stuff. And I usually start in the hole that's closer to the center. Yeah, I think these are going to be way too long. On the other side. Okay, I think I got the carrots backwards. But let me make sure. Yep, I got it twisted around backwards. And how I know I have it on backwards, I have another Gen 7 in my earlier videos I'm going off of. Um, but on a cage, you have that little angle. Well, it faces towards the rear of the truck. Uh, Try this again. That's better. I want to see something here. Let me. Uh, Let me check on the. That's what I thought. You got to put the side linkages on. These are aftermarket alloy ones, and that's why the bolts are so long, or the screws. And these will go in the very first hole. Where's the back? You see that the very first hole to the center, that's the motor mount pin. I don't know if you see it. Sit there. And then you got the hole in between. It's empty. And the very first one be that one there on the next one. Or towards the well, that's the front, but that's where that mirror go. Spin her around. And there you go. First hole's the transmission pin, empty hole, and it'll go in that hole there. Let's see that. I don't want that one. This one. I got turned around. I forgot I spun the truck, so it'll be in the first hole on that side. Not that hole. It'll be that one up there. And we'll go ahead and do the front. Like I said, the front has the 4 holes plus that one. And this one go in the first hole there. So to get it lined up here. There we go. It started. So we'll spin it. We'll do the other side. We said it will go in that first hole. All right, the side linkages, we'll just put it on. It goes through the cage and it bolts into the transmission plate. See that right there? That's where the screws go into. No, it's screwed down. And let's go ahead put the front bumper mounts on. That way it'll sturdy the front and the rear. And these is also alloy. Pretty neat. I like them. And for these, well, I personally like uh, run the bumper low. And what I mean by that, you got uh, 8 holes there. And I usually use the top ones, the bulk to, and leave the bottom ones hang below. That way the bumper ain't so high. But that's just me. A lot of people would be different. Get a bolt started, and you can adjust them out as far as you like. It's your discretion where you like to run them. Oops, caught myself. I stuck it in a higher one. There we go. You don't want them too tight right now until you get the screws in it. You have to line them up, line the holes up. And what I like to do with these, I like to separate the screws. That way it gives them more. So I put one in the front and one in the last hole. That's it. One in the last and one in the front hole. And whenever you do the front, it's the same way. They're, they're on there. So go ahead and do the front the same exact same way. And you can flip these over. See how the bar is like on the lower side? And if you want to raise the bumper, flip it over and see it, and it raised this part above. You can mount it. Uh, you can mount it high, or you drop it down to the last holes and low a little bit more. But you flip them over, you can raise the bumper. See? I want to be running it lower because I'm going to be using this build to pull my boats with. And I may strip my other truck and redo the frame on it. But I don't know if I may not do the video on that one since I'm doing it for this one. Get that paint in there a little bit. Be a little bit stubborn. Tighten it down a little bit too much. There we go. One more screw for this one. Those will be done. And these screws here, I just got them ran down in there. That's for the bumper itself. It runs in these holes, and these screws runs down through the bumper and holds them in. Cause I don't think I'm running bumpers, so I'm just going to leave them in there. I got it down a little bit. All right. Ooh, there we got the side linkages on. You got the bumper mounts on. And let's go ahead and do the shock towers and mounts. And with these, let me make sure on my other truck. That's the rear. Rear. On my other truck, the rear is going to have these three holes open, and it's going to go into these two. So I like to run them flush. Get it lined up. That fresh paint's in the holes, making them a little bit. There, get one in there. We'll get one on the other side where it won't twist on me. Bring it down too much. Let's see. I'm putting them in the first hole there. And I like to also separate the screws for just better hold. Get it lined up there. That way, if you still want to move the shock, run a shock here, you can still put it there. Yeah. I would have had all the stuff laying here. Let's see. Let's see how the front is. I'm gonna run the front the same way. Not gonna tighten it all the way down yet. Running the other side. And I got to find a couple more screws for that. I thought I had them here, but they are MIA right now. Going to delivery. Kind of delivery, Brandon. Yeah. Where you gotta go to? Uh, well, I hope you don't have no steps to go up. One on this side. Where's Clayville at? Never heard of it. Yeah, the truck should be a little ripper too. With this uh, brush the system in it. I don't know why that screw won't go in there. Oh, Waynesburg's not that far. That probably is in a box truck. Get the torch. I got it in there. Once you get this far, go ahead and plug the motor in. Get the wires out of my way. Uh, and we'll go ahead and get the shocks mounted. Uh-oh, that's not good. Where you go to, Spacer? There you are. Oh my. Glad I found him. Now with the shock, I'm going to stick it in a third hole in the middle, just to start off with. Yeah, yeah, Brandon, you can stop by in your Mustang. See, next week's the long week for work. It'll be Friday if you can, since I'm off on Friday. Well, put them in the wrong holes. I guess you expect that on a scratch build. Trial and error. Might have to do things two, three things over. And you really don't know until you get the body on them, because you might have to move them again after you get the body. And now this will go here in the third hole in the center. And after you get the shocks on, then you're ready to put the rear ends under it. And I'm about to move in too now. They're in the wrong place. Or maybe no, they're good. So I could go in the other side. Back here in this middle hole. These would take the little washers or these little locking bolts. You have to need on those pliers to hold it. Right here, I did it. The other side there. I just put that one in the wrong hole, so I have to raise it up because I like to run them soft. Let's see how I put that in there. I need to raise it up to the other hole here. That way it won't be so stiff. The shocks won't be so stiff, and you'll get more flex out of it that way. And for the shocks, I like to run them the orange pointing down. That way, dirt ain't building up down inside. That's how I usually do it. But everybody's different. You run whatever way you guys prefer, you guys like. And let's see, this is the front. And start with the rear because the front is a little bit more problem. Come on now. At the rear, right for the rear. These are brand new diff cases because my old ones, the little shock tower stuff was broke on them. These here, they was broke, so these are new ones. I painted them before I put them on there. That is the steel diff cover they do put on them from stock, and I repainted all this stuff. Tires aren't running. I'm not sure the name of them. There is nothing on the tire. They are smaller, but I thought I'd just try these out and see. I may put the 2.2 tires on, but like I said, this is just gonna be pulling my boat and stuff with in a trailer, so you can't have nothing too high. Uh, and the dry shaft is the stock dry shaft, one we use for the rear, and the front one is the ones I had trouble in my last video, but I fixed it. It's not that good of a job, but I fixed them. The little pin comes through here, so I used a coat hanger and ran them through. But it ain't gonna come off. I mean, it still flexes and everything. But that's what I'm gonna use for the front. I do have new dry shafts coming. So that's what I'm gonna be using for now. So my new ones come. And for these, go ahead and slide the dry shaft up in. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit contrary too now. There we go. In there now. And this time to put your center links in that adjust the rear end going up and down. Get to that's that side, and this is that side. We get the hardware, and on the I don't think my phone is lowered down anymore. Yeah. Well, you can't see now, but and it goes right here on. You got one link on this side and one link on this side, and a bolt runs through the middle of the both of them and lock them down through a little locking nut there. I mean, this is my little own uh, mod. I don't know if you can see it or not. See that little hose right there? Got a little brass fitting. It's probably about a quarter-inch long with a rubber hose. I can squirt grease down inside the diff, and I got it plugged off. And ain't nothing going to get in there. And it don't mess with the gears inside the truck. There's plenty enough room. I checked it out before or after I done it, make sure it wasn't going to hit the drive gears. But yeah, that little hole there. But if you guys have any questions on that, feel free to leave a comment. I get these lined back up now. There we go. Yeah. If you guys want, you could go ahead and put the linkages on in your shock. That way you get the rear end uh, set up the whatever you want. I think I may go ahead and do that. Maybe you see a little bit. Yeah, run it through the linkage first. Or I'm sorry, you run it through the hole in the diff. Uh, Mine setup has these little spacers that I have to use. Not then it makes the center diff linkage arms and the shock loose and rattle. And these things are here, little burgers to put in. There, that's on there. Get the shock in there now. That'd be and it fell back off. Yeah, these gonna be. You know what? If it rattles, it rattles. That thing is gonna give me a. I'm not. Might be a little loose in there. Unless I get it in there on this side, maybe better. Yeah, that's what you'll have to do if you have these little spacers. You gotta slide them in after you get the. Let's get the whole stuff on. There we go. There's one. Slide the bolt through the center diff first, then your linkage, then your shock. And like I said, if you have that little spacer, put it in between the shock mount and the shock itself. And they're a little fidgety to get in there. Oh, come on. There, got it in there. The bolt slide through it. Got it. Woohoo! And I'll show you guys what I did. The way I had to put these on, I had to run my little screwdriver through the wheel of it and put the locking nut on. They don't have to be tight. Just snug them up. You see right now, see how that rear end goes? As soon as you get the linkages on, it won't do that. Then you can set the pitch of your drive shaft. All right, I'll show you what I did. I might have to back that up a little bit. See, well, that's not. That made it worse. But yeah, right here, you see how I have that spacer on this side? Uh, right here on this side, and put in between the diff cover bracket for the shock and the linkage. Put it in between the shock and that. That way it won't. When you tighten them down, it won't bend them or break them off. It just fills the gap. But that's how I did that. Go ahead, put the center links in, and the rear will be finished. And on his linkages, they got they're bent different ways. That's what I was looking at. When you do the center, you want to make sure that they're out like that, so your dry shaft will beat down through the middle. It's not going to bind up on them. And for these, I like to run. All right, now I'm just going to get stuck on there. That way I can know exactly where I want to set my dry shaft. And that may, I think that may be good right there. So it's in the center, and three holes in the bottom where I have it set. And the rear end is sitting pretty well flat, but also it's pitched up a little bit where it's not going to grab that center plate. So that's a good starting point. If you, like I said, you can adjust them wherever you want. So I get the other one put on. I'll go ahead and throw a couple of locking nuts on the front. Though they won't pop off on me. I gotta keep my eye on the time too. So I gotta get my daughter here from school. I'm not going to tighten them down yet. I just want to get them on there so they won't pop off. And then get the center link on center diff. That's that. Get the little locking screw or nut. That take. Yeah, I don't have all the right hardware, so I have to use a Phillips screw and a Phillips head for this. But it works. It may be better. So, so the rear end is done. Got plenty of flex. No binding on the frame. No binding on the frame nowhere. Get it spun around there. Center or the linkage is going to drive me batty. Yeah, there You got plenty of clearance in the shocks. Plenty of clearance. No bindage. And now we'll start the front. Yeah, it's basically the same thing as the rear. So, except you got the mounting plate and this screws right on top of your. I'm not even sure what they call this, but you got two screws for the plate. You got to take the servo off, then so you get access to screws to the plate because the screws are underneath the servo. But this is also a new front diff. I wish I had a better way to so I could show you. I see it better or not. And it's going to be the same way you did the back with the screws through the diff housing, through the or the linkage. And these also had the spacers on them, so I had to run spacers in mine. So don't know why I had to run spacers. Unless it's just a little bit different design of the diff covers. But no, the stock ones you didn't all have to run the spacers in them. Are you gonna be fidgety too, huh? Mm, pop out of there, huh? Don't be stubborn. Just go in. There you go. Oh wow, I love doing this kind of stuff. I like building vehicle stuff from scratch. That way, you know you can appreciate it more. Plus, you learn. If someone asks you, you buy it. You say, "No, I built it." This has that little feeling, I guess, that you actually did it yourself and built it. I think that's why I build a lot of my stuff, my RC vehicles. I got my bandit boat and my fishing boat I built, which my fishing boat is uh it's kind of not working right at the moment. Got I need to do some work on it. but it's 4.5 feet long, about 15 inches wide. So it's a big fishing boat. But one of these days I'll get working on it, and we'll go from there. Uh, let's see. Now for the locking nut. And these also have the, like I said, I had to use different setup for them for the nuts and bolts and stuff. Uh-oh, what happened? It shut off. Sorry guys, the phone shut off. I'm recording this on my phone, and I'm live streaming on my computer. So I don't know what's going. I don't know what happened to the phone, but it's back on now. I don't know if someone tried to call or cut me off or what. That was weird. Oh, before I forget, I do have a another little special thing that I recently picked up, received, and you guys want to stay tuned for this video on that. I don't want to give it away what it is, but it's going to be totally different point of views on stuff on the channels or on my channel. Once I learn how to really work it, I never had or own one of that size, so it'd be a learning experience for me too. I may get it out here after a while to mess with it before I actually do the video. I won't destroy it once I start the videos. And for the front linkages, it's same exact same thing for the back. You just whatever you do for the rear, you're going to do for the front, if that makes sense. But the front has the two holes right here. That is for your linkage or your center linkage, and you only got three. Well, you got three settings, but got one hole is covered behind the center linkage. And you can sit there a little bit or not, but most of the time you're going to run these two. I think I have mine set up on the. thing I have is set up on the first hole towards the cage of the transmission cage. Like I said, remember put the bow outward towards the vehicle. And make sure you get it in there before you put the bolt in. We get the little lucking. Oh, now I have to change that around. I won't need that no more. A little bit longer bolt, but we said I was scratching for the my hardware stuff. That's too long. Uh, Yeah, under. That truck's almost done. I got to put the receiver in it yet. Other than that, the truck's basically done. So you get the linkages on, get the diff set up the way you want them. Yeah, that's a long bolt too. I want need some shorter ones. Just tip the see you can tip it right now, but when you hook these linkages on, you won't be able to do that. Now, if you get it put together, you may have to get it down on the table and see if you have to do any tweaks to it. Like I said, you may have to redo stuff a couple times to get it the way you like it. And tweezers are a little locking bolt screw, nut, whatever you want to call it. Change that back. I thought I was done with it. Yeah, that's under there. The bondage. And the servo wire, I just run them up over that stuff when I get down here. And there's the battery tray. It was black, like I said. I put my own touches on it. With the LiPo battery that I'm running, 3S 50 11.1 50C 5000 mAh battery, and it's longer than the battery tray, but I had some styrofoam rubber or styrofoam, so I just use them there. That's what the battery sits on. It sits above. It's way above the metal. And when I strap the battery down, it doesn't hit the metal. But I'll go ahead and put the battery tray in. And there's certain way to get the battery tray put to run right. Yeah, see how it's sloped? And they go. The slope, the angle goes towards the motor part, and it fits on the outside of the frame, not on the inside. Uh, Man, I hate to scratch his new paint job. Get the holes lined up. Or I can stick it back in the stand that way I can twist it around. Move it. Where here they are. Good. And if you guys run the stock battery, I don't have it out right now, but the stock one actually fits in the tray. But when I do, I use this to throw in the bottom of it. That way it's not running on the battery against the metal. This is just a little fast rubbery little styrofoam sheet. I got mine from uh, Michael's Arts and Crafts. There's needle nurse. Flip around, put the other bolt in it. Line that. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, you can't see what I'm doing either on that. That's stuff's in the way now. And with these, through the battery tray here, there's the hole. You can actually stick a needle nose down there to grab a hold of the nut or the little bolt as you tighten it down. Here, let's see if I can show you. Yeah, see, you grab hold of them, you stick right down in there to grab them. One more and the battery tray will be on. Yeah, see how I'm doing that? I got the needles right down in the battery tray. Of course, you can't do that with the battery in it. You know that. You just want to make sure you're snugged up. Yeah, you don't have to really crank it down. That lucky nut, it won't come back off. Need some coffee. They start looking like a truck now. The only thing left to do is just a little receiver box. SD card is full. Oh my. Hey guys, my phone shut off again. It told me my SD card was full. So I don't know how much longer it's going to record for until it shuts off again. You already put the receiver back in it, and I am running the stock receiver in this truck. Like I said, I painted my own little thing. I did my own little color scheme stuff. And I'm running the wire up to the receiver hole there. And on the cover has a little cutout right here. That's where that fits in just like that. Let's see. Which way are you going to go on? I think I'm going to put you that way. Yeah, and it does bolt to. Okay, where you at now? Find a hole up somewhere. I think it's in there now. Yep. All right. The ESC is channel 2. It's for your motor. And channel 1 for your servo. And on my servo, if you have different colors, the brown is the ground. Guys, the truck's finished. And the only thing left to do now is pop a battery in it and go for a run. Uh, I am running my old body. I'll show you. The old body. I did repaint it. I did take it off. It, just back. And the guy is in there. If you guys are wondering how I did it, see, he did zip tied to the roll cage. Actually, I need to put him back up in there, back up in the window. There you go. He's back up in the window. But let's see where this thing's going to sit at on the truck. Like I said, might have to change it around. And and actually, I do because I have to raise it. See where they're hitting at. I had to bring the bracket forward and make it the hose line up. But let me take you off the stand. I don't. Uh, I'll turn the camera around. Right now, that is it. That's the truck. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave those tires on or not. I do have the stock ones. I do have the stock ones that came off the other truck. I may put one there, but not sure. I'm kind of digging those ones for right now. But I don't know. Just have to write and see which way I like. Uh, Flip it back around. And I hope you guys enjoyed that build. I, like I said, I loved doing it, building that stuff like that. Appreciate it more. Plus, you can add your own design and uniqueness to it. And so I think that's going to be it. I'm going to go take a break. Um, if you like that build, stay tuned for the next little surprise I have. Like I said, I'm going to try to mess with it before I do any video with it. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And bash that notification bell for our next video. And any comments, be sure to leave them. All right, later.